Welcome to Physics of Gamification, the podcast where science meets behavior design. I'm your host, Hakan Özer, co-founder of MotivaCraft. Each episode, we connect a core gamification mechanic to a principle from physics. Not just to sound smart, but to explain how engagement really works. Today's topic? Escape velocity, and what it takes to break disengagement when your users stop caring and just drift. Let's get into it. To leave Earth's gravity, a rocket has to hit 11.2 kilometers per second. That's about 7 miles per second for our non-metric friends. That's escape velocity. Anything less, and it falls right back down. No matter how sleek the rocket is, no matter how noble the mission, if it doesn't have the energy, it's not going anywhere. Now, swap that rocket for a disengaged user. They have dropped off. They are disconnected. They haven't logged in for weeks. And what do most platforms do? Send a soft push notification. Maybe toss in a badge or a 50-point mission. It's like tapping on a drifting object in space and expecting it to turn around. If they are caught in behavioral gravity, you don't need a reminder. You need a launch. Let's figure out how. In physics, escape velocity is the minimum energy an object needs to break free from gravity without falling back. It's not about a long push. It's about a decisive burst. One moment of enough force and you're out. In gamification, behavioral gravity is disengagement, boredom, fatigue, forgetfulness, apathy. And most systems don't break it. They whisper at it. You don't need 10 gentle nudges. You need one meaningful ignition. Design that moment or don't expect them back. Here is a trap most teams fall into. Let's ease them back in. Send a nice email and a tiny "we miss you" message. Offer a micro task. It's polite. It's thoughtful. And it's completely ineffective. Because behavioral drift isn't fragile. It's heavy. And if you want to break it, you need energy and lots of it. Try a comeback mission. A clear, urgent moment that makes them say, "Oh, this is new. This feels like a re-entry point. This has a meaning, a gain." Don't trickle the engagement back in. Crack it open. Let me give you 2 real-life examples. In one client system, users inactive for 14 days triggered a comeback window. They got one message. You got 24 hours to complete this mission and earn a unique avatar. Miss it, and it's gone forever. Not flashy, not desperate, just clear and finite. Engagement jumped 48%. Because it wasn't a tap, it was a pull. Now, another example from a CRM system. Users who returned after a gap were greeted with a story recap. Here is where you left off. Want to finish your arc? It wasn't guilt. It wasn't, "Why did you leave?" It was a hand saying, "You are still in the story if you want to be." That's how you restore momentum. This isn't just physics. It's psychology too. What you are really working with is activation energy. It's not about attention. It's about energy required to begin again. We humans don't like starting over unless the benefit is clear and the first step feels light. 2 key things matter. Relevance. Why this now? And simplicity. What's the smallest step with real meaning? When you successfully combine those 2, users don't just notice you again, they ignite. So, at this point, let's get tactical. Here's what to build. Create a re-entry windows. Give it a name, time box it, make it feel like a moment. Create second chances. Not you are late, say, this is your mission if you still want in. And create emotional strong triggers, not complete 3 tasks. Try reclaim your streak. Finish what you started. Win back your rhythm. Not guilt. Shame doesn't re-engage. Ownership does. Create a fast reward. If your comeback moment takes 5 steps to feel meaningful, it's already lost. Get in, hit hard, lift them out. Your challenge this week: find a place where users drift. Not churn, not unsubscribe, just quietly float away. Ask yourself, do we have an escape plan? Do we give them energy, or are we just sending pings into the void? Now, build a high-energy, low-friction reactivation moment. One that feels like ignition, not repetition. Because sometimes you only get one chance to bring them back. You've been listening to Physics of Gamification. This podcast doesn't have a studio budget, but it does have ideas worth testing. If today's episode gave you a new way to think about disengagement, about the energy it really takes to spark movement again, share it. With a gamification designer, with a product lead, with anyone trying to create change that sticks. Next time, we'll talk about the Doppler effect and how the speed of user movement affects how they perceive your feedback. Think they are hearing what you are saying? That depends on how fast they are moving. Until then, stay in the flow.